Might stop for a bit and see if I can't figure out any way to fix that. But yeah, I could never watch someone like that. It's like one thing if a person messes up, but if someone's playing really badly as a consummate thing, I just couldn't watch that.
Oh,
I know, it would just be too painful. Far too annoying.
hold on. Be sure not.
Um, but yeah, it'd be far too annoying to watch that. And especially so if they were actually just doing it on purpose to be annoying. Honestly, I kind of hate their gods. Ooh, got a ping. Oh, here, I need a second, folks. Folks, and I have returned. It's been a bit. It's been a bit. Maybe an hour. So, let us continue. God, the time on this is gonna be fucked. Walked away after playing for so long. Oh, one thing. Apparently, I mentioned the whole localization thing, and then the super best friends guy, Pat, was the one who kicked it off. Apparently, people were including pictures of him and with his baby, though apparently some may have censored the baby in the pictures. That's not on. Like, if you are, for whatever reason, posting a pic of the guy, I don't get the point why he knows what he looks like. Unless he's made a jibe at someone else's looks, I don't really see the point in it. Um, leave the kid out of it. There's no need to include the kid in this internet subfight. You know, even in any way. You know, it's a stupid take, but there's no need to include anyone else in it. Just him. If someone agrees with him, sure. Disagree with them, but don't need to include random family members or their kids. Especially not the kids. It's hard enough. Well, I think the kid is a baby, but it's hard enough being a kid. Never mind, randos online taking a swing at you because of something you've nothing to do with. I've actually lost a lot of respect for people for doing stuff like that. I don't know who did that, if anyone. It was his missus saying someone had. I hadn't seen that myself. Um, but I've seen other people doing it about other one, you know, taking a swing at other people's family before, and I've lost a lot of respect for people because of it. There's absolutely no need. So yeah, there's no damn need to do that. I don't get the point of posting a picture of him as a gotcha. He knows what he looks like. Unless he's taking a pot shot at someone else, calling them ugly on a like unpromptedly. Yeah, there's no real need. I was saying mum was. Yeah, I've been saying mum's sick, down with a cold and whatnot. Oh, wah, ha, ha, ha. Down with the sickness. But, yeah, I can kind of feel myself getting it right now, honestly. Bit of fluey lurking in my head. I can feel it festering, growing. It's not great. Thankfully, the local pharmacy did a delivery. I've been able to leave the house cider as of late. Several reasons. Um, they did a delivery, and I was able to get some like vitamin C things. Well, they were for mom, but she offered me some when she heard that I was feeling a bit fluey. She was actually remember when we last said she was there at the start, but she was actually joined us again after the like dinner break, on and off. Um, that screen tearing is, I swear, it's worse today. But she actually joined us on and off. She was actually so sick last night she couldn't actually sleep in bed. So had the stream going for her. So if she wanted, she could have a little watch while she tried to sleep on the sofa. I would have stayed down there with her, but animals are mental. They can be cracked, and that's kind of counterproductive to actually sleeping. How much more am I gonna do? I think I might stop here for a moment. BRB. Hey, folks. And I'm back. But yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing, so I have no idea how to fix screen tearing. This is above my pay grade, man. Why, I don't get paid. Explains a lot. Level 59, really? This all cost us in 2 grand right now. In theory, I could actually hit a fair level. Okay, that's... the screen tearing is egregious. It's actually pretty constant now. I'll be honest, one thing I will say is in Aviator's music video for the Demon Souls remake song he did one for this game and then one for the remake, I actually do kind of like a bit of the look of this place in the remake. It is actually pretty accurate to how this is. As far as I could tell from it, it was again I was just judging from a music video. As far as I could tell from it, it was actually pretty accurate to how this looks here. So it was nice and scaled up, but yeah, as far as I could tell, it was pretty accurate. Like I can't say that they did a bad job. I just don't. I'm just iffy on changes. Okay, I swear the screen tearing wasn't this bad before. Give me a sec. Hey folks, I fiddled with a setting. I fiddled with a setting I managed to stumble onto. It might fix something. Let's find out. I wish I could skip through this. Not sure why it suddenly got worse about the screen tearing, but hopefully what I pressed will fix it. Yeah, seems fixed. Let's get back to the killing. How many more times do I want to do this? As it stands, I have maybe 2 levels and just shy of a third. I may have that third in this run. It depends on how aggressive the soul requirements go. Tommy's thinking of like, should I grind about going and grinding the healing items now? Because I've used a lot of them. I'm so annoyed that the time in the swamp didn't work out. But the lack of the rusted iron ring from DS1 is really throwing me off. If I had rusted iron ring from DS1, I'd be fine. I also noticed that this is acronymed as DES. DES. In a sense, it should be known as DS, and then Dark Souls as, I know, DAS. It's Demon's Souls came first, therefore it gets the acronym. You know? Let's stake the claim. But no, it's. I feel like Demon's Souls kind of started it, but Dark Souls is where it really hit popularity, you know? So I suppose just by virtue of popularity, it gets the acronym. I think all this is gonna go into vitality. Me having more health will be a good thing. Be a damn good thing. That way, even when I'm in soul form, I may be able to withstand some one hits. Like, what will be a one hit for me now, I'll be able to withstand. Maybe I should use the Stone of Eyes more. hoping I'll be able to get like I'm not following a guide strictly here. I'm hoping I'm not botching it enough. I'm just worried that, say, if I don't follow a guide strictly, that it will New Game Plus runs won't work, kind of thing. That I'll have to start a new character and do stuff on a separate guy, because that will put me back to zero, you know. And as much as I like Kuga, I'm not a fan of beginning from zero. There was actually a manga I read a bit of recently, and they actually the whole manga is a love letter to like tokusatsu. Like I once in one bit a guy, wow, trick shot. Um, he's having to start from the bottom, and he's just like and he just starts singing the Kuga theme, but beginning from zero. His very name, I think, is actually a reference to Kuga. As in the character. Kuga is like his, henshin form, his transformed form. But the character's name is Godai Yusuke. So it's like a combo on that. They took like a few letters from this one, a few letters from that one. Boom, a name. And even apparently, like the chapter headings are wrote out like a Kamen Rider episode for a particular series. So it's just like the whole thing's basically a love letter to like Tokusatsu. I think it hits other series as well, but the first monster he gets to fight is a friggin' spider monster, spider goblin to be exact. I don't remember what got me onto this, but let's gush about this random manga. Like the monsters in it could, like when a monster dies, their spirit can linger and then possess another monster. When it possesses another monster, it when it possesses another monster, they fuse into one. So it gets the. I'm not sure who remains the dominant entity, but there's now a goblin there with, spider monster powers, additional eyes, ability to shoot web, while still having the instincts of a gobby. And, opposable thumbs and whatnot. And if you haven't watched Tokusatsu, in Kamen Rider, like the very first enemy Hongo faces is a spider monster, literally called Spider-Man. Very next enemy fights is a bat monster called Batman. Don't worry, there's a space between them. It's fine, and there's no hyphen. But so often, like later on, like Kamen Rider series will have them as their very first enemy fighting a spider monster. And here, to make a nod to Kamen Rider, the first enemy he gets to fight, monster-wise, is a spider. Spider. Monster. Thing. Careful, I'm dangerous. I'm two-handing this symbol of God. The symbol of God, and I know how to use it. So far, I haven't seen any offensive miracles. Miracles seem to just be a defensive thing in this, or a utility thing. Like miracles in Dark Souls were perfectly capable of being offensive as well as utility. Like, look at like Solaris miracle. Nice. Nuts. But, like, look at Solaris spell. The, like, lightning throw thing. That's, that's a miracle. I am of the opinion that Slayer is somehow associated, remember the Nameless King in Dark Souls 3? When I was first going into Dark Souls 3, I was wondering if that was going to be our character from Dark Souls 2. Well, it's supposed to be a bit much for it to be ours, but, we became a king. We are pretty much nameless. So it's just like, hey. But, but it's it's confirmed that or it's confirmed as Annander is, that it's Gwyn's disowned child. But yeah, just when I heard like, oh, Nameless King, like, oh, who could it be? Who could it be? And it's just like our character becoming Monarch at the end of Dark Souls 2 just flashed into my head, and I was like, well, maybe that'll be interesting. Fighting against a previous protagonist. That'll be kind of cool. But no, it's Gwyn's kid. I'm still of the opinion that Solaire is Gwyn's kid's kid. Or somewhere down the line. Maybe there's a few generations of humans. But, well, a few generations there. The one because they do, like, he is pretty much the face of the Warriors of Sunlight Covenant. And as opposed to the actual god who runs it. Which I suppose is fitting given that he's stripped from everything. But they do hype how, like, Solaire, like, his armor is pretty benign and beige. Like, his armor is nothing special. And it implies that, all of Solaire's power and ability comes from himself. Which could mean that he, just put the work in, or, like, the guy's just cool. But I don't know. I just, in my head, the idea that he's actually, is actually somehow connected with Gwyn. Well, the son who inherited the sunlight thing. Would explain his obsession with it, wanting his own son. To the point, didn't Solaire say that, like, he deliberately, became undead so he could go to Orderon to get his own son? Like, it would explain his obsession with it. He's just trying to claim, basically, family claim his birthright. So yeah, I've just been I'm not sure if that's a common opinion or what, but that's the opinion I've been going on, that he's actually is somehow associated with the Nameless King. Like, is a kid of his, or great grandkid or something, We know Gwyn had issues with humans, but we don't know what the Nameless King's opinion was. So, yeah. Nameless King may have been fine with humans, I'm not Gwyn. The one thing going against it, well, I'm sure there's plenty of things going against it, but, like, we do see a descendant of Guinevere in Dark Souls 3, and she's tiny. Well, no, Solaire's tiny. She's huge, and I'm not sure, was she daughter or granddaughter? But how far have the gods fallen that one of the gods gets enslaved by the Pontiff? Like, well, one of them's getting eaten by the other guy, but that's the granddaughter of Gwendolyn. And she's being turned into a maddened knight of the Pontiff, fused into her armor and driven mad. She's let wear the veil as a nod to the fact that she's descendant of the gods. But I'm not sure if that's a mark of honor or more of a jibe at her heritage. She's a beast now and she's descendant of the gods. Given how the pontiff is literally guarding a guy in the middle of consuming a god, seems more likely to me it's more of a jibe. The mark of her heritage is there more as an insult than anything else. Because if you look at what she's become, or what she's becoming, sometimes marking where you come from is not a good thing. So yeah, yeah, I've just been of the opinion that Solaire is somehow associated with the gods. That he is actually descendant of the that's a banished god. I had more of like an argument for it in the past. I remember talking about it in Dark Souls 3, but it's kind of escaped me now. Most of my points of like lore that I built up in my head of my own ideas have kind of vanished. One that I do remember is that there's implications in it that Gwendolen can actually fabricate perfectly functional fake souls. His illusion magic is so great. Maybe that's just a bit of game mechanics you gotta ignore, but look at it this way. Smaug was the only guard left behind in the cathedral. Ornstein had long since left. It's unknown where exactly he went. Did he follow his charge for a time? For whatever reason, he ended up in a darkened version of him. Ended up in the Hades Tower Flame. But then his corpse was found in the with his father in a very much different place. So it's kind of hard to track Ornstein's movements. But Ornstein was not in the cathedral at the time of the Chosen Undead. That's confirmed no matter which of the other games you look at. So if you fight in the Ornstein fight, if you defeat Ornstein first, then Smaug delivers the coup de grace to Ornstein and drains his power. If you strike down Smaug first, then Ornstein drains his power. And in both cases, they experience a power-up, an upgrade because of it. So if only Smaug there was an actual guard, and the other guy was just an illusion, then how the hell did he drain power from him? Did he just throw in the power of the illusion and somehow get empowered off that? So it just seems like somehow Gwendolen is actually able to create functional souls. Which is kind of an insane thing. I'm also of the mindset that it's given that, and like Gwendolen's illusions and shit, it's possible that he actually survived DS3. Not that he would survive for long, but you know, who knows? Maybe he was munching on a not even real Gwendolen. Like there is like talk in the description about like the guy getting memories and whatnot from the illusion, well, from chewing on the god. Those could have all just been part of the illusion. Why would he leave them in there? Nobody knows. Who knows how well functioned Gwendolen was at that point? He'd been chilling out in that place alone, isolated for ages. But I remember having more of an argument for it, or maybe I was just more passionate of it back then. I'm kind of having a bit of an OCD thing right now, so I'm a little distracted. But yeah, that was my idea, basically. No, no, I'm kind of looping here. Um, my God, I've gotten a lot of souls. This grind has gone easier than expected, really. Given that each time I'm only getting 5,505 souls. 2 runs, that's 11,000. This has gone pretty quick. Excuse me. Still, the DS2 grind is better. But, yeah, those were my 2 little ideas I had for Dark Souls lore. Slayer is somehow related to the Nameless King, and there's something weird going on with Gwendolen's illusions. We'll do one more loop, then we'll go get some upgrades. But yeah, there's something weird going on with Gwendolen's illusions. I can't remember the full argument I had for it. I made it in Dark Souls 3. But, so go watch that playthrough if you want to see it. But there was just, again, like the Smaug Ornstein fight. Smaug, if you take down Ornstein first, then Smaug gets an upgrade off Ornstein, and vice versa. But if Ornstein's not there and it's just an illusion, with Smaug being the only guard that was there, damn it. Of course, I missed both shots.
Oh.
He's laughing at me, bastard.
But a bit of indulgence.
Up.
Oh. All done. Be sure not.
But yeah, what am I trying to say? Just trying to do multiple things at a time, get me addled. While we're waiting for them to reset, I'll meander over here and talk a little. So yeah, the idea was just that, like, in the Ornstein Smaug fight, whoever you take down first gets power up off the other guy. How detailed are his illusions if the, say, Smaug could get a power up off the Ornstein illusion? Maybe I suppose in that case it's canon that it went the other way around. Who knows? I think there was more to my argument, but honestly at this point, it's been like three years. I don't remember it. If you want to see it more, you're going to have to go try and find it in my Dark Souls 3 playthrough. If you find it, please let a link to it below. Just say which episode it was. Yeah, better just say, oh yeah, it's Dark Souls 3 part, whatever, than a link. Sometimes I find like, oh yeah, you have a comment on this episode, and then I go check it and it's not there. There isn't a comment. So there's nothing on my channel at all. I can't see it on the video, can't see it in the back end, I can't see it in censored comments. There's nothing. So it's best to play it safe. But yeah, remember those being 2 little lore things I had. I suppose one's probably less of an insane one than the other. The Sawyer one. Probably less of an insane one than Gwendol and his illusion magic being much better than we think. To the point to make, it being a, functional thing. Yeah, eat shit. No, I had spent 60 here on this fight. My god, world is over. But, yeah, hopefully that all made sense. One idea was to where's descendant of Gwyn by way of the Nameless King. The other idea was that something's weird with Gwendolen's illusions, because like in the Ornstein Smaug fight, Ornstein isn't actually there, so it's only Smaug as an actual participant. I think it's generally accepted that Smaug was left behind, given that you can't darken the place and break the illusion until after the fight. You can't confirm it. Well, actually, that was part of the thing. Oh, in the undarkened place, in while the sun is still above Anorlando, there's a ton of giant guards. Though they aren't really that giant compared to the giants we met later on. But there's a bunch of large guards, bunch of big ones, guarding the place. And they disappear when the sun falls. The only beings that disappear are illusions. Those were illusions. The connection of this here means like you can kill them and get souls off them. You're killing an enemy and getting souls. Either this is just a mechanical thing and not something you're meant to read into, but if those giants are illusions and killing them gets you souls, then either the illusions are powered by souls, which there is magic. I don't think he really delved into soul manipulation. He just has illusion magic. Then somehow his illusions can have souls. You know, I feel like I'm missing something here, you know? But anyway. Enough of my rantings.
Thou seekest then
Oh god, soul power.
soul of the mind, key to life's ether. Soul of the lost, withdrawn from its vessel. Let strength be
Granted, so the world might be mended.
So
The world might be mended. Okay, I put a few more ranks into vitality, but I've also put some ranks into strength, so I should hit that
Art
bit
thou
harder.
done? Main that
Okay. I do need to fix my equip load. Awesome. Should I go here? Should I go back to there?